So today's Visuddhi chakra, the throat chakra, the thyroid glands and the parathyroid glands in the throat. Physically, they're balancing all the polarities in our body, all the opposites. And they're also regulating the calcium. They're regulating a lot in the body, the fluid, the blood, the bones. The thyroids are doing a lot of balancing. So when we talk, turning our depending on our feeling and if we're going into the left or right brain, and the feelings that are created from our organs, the neck will move to create that chemistry as well. So as we talk, we get the feeling, and then the head will move, shutting some organs off, turning some organs on, or glands. And they're doing this constantly. So that's often when we talk and we start to move our head. Or if you had a swollen liver, your head would shift to the right and you know, would help to stop too much going on in the liver, that sort of thing. So it's got a lot to do with our growth patterns. Here, it will either grow or decay. So that depends on our thoughts and feelings as well. So whatever we think and feel, we've moved up through the chakras and we created a plan. We've come to Anahata chakra, and the heart starts beating to that intention as we see it and feel it. And then as it comes into the thyroid gland, then it says, okay, you want this? Doesn't care what you ask for. Remember that. There's no brain. Then it says, okay, that's what you want. And then it'll start to switch particular organs and glands on or off, or talk to the body to make it secrete different sorts of chemistry through the organs and create that in the body. But it's also where pheromones come out from us and come into us as well. So what we see and feel and what we're really feeling goes out, like that sense of smell is our first sense. And it's also what's coming into us as well from others, their pheromones, that affects us. So if we have good intention and don't speak our wishes out too much, as we were talking about before, because some people won't program them appropriately, then it will do that. So it'll come up to the thyroid, and that'll say, oh, that's what you want, okay. Then it goes to the glands in the mouth. The submandibular gland says, okay, you've got to eat this food, and you'll get that craving for food. So trust your appetite, because it's got the constituents in the food that your body needs to make that chemistry. And then come across over to the filters, and I'll say, oh, okay, well then you need to get rid of that, but keep that, because that will help you, and put that back down in the veins. And then the rest will come up into the pituitary gland, and then the pituitary gland sends a message out to the brain, and then the messages go back down the spinal cord to all the organs and glands and say, well, you do this, you do that, you do this, stop doing this, and so forth. It's also the level of telepathy. So, and here it's being able to decide what you're really intuiting or what is your mind babbling. So you know how sometimes you sit there and you try and get an answer, you think, now was that real or was that just my head babbling away? So this is the chakra that helps you to work that out. It's the chakra mainly of growth. We have Bindu at the back of the head. It secretes amrit, a nectar, and it's bittersweet. It can be healthful or poisonous, but it must pass through Visuddhi first, because if it misses Visuddhi and gets down to Manipura, then it just decays the body. So we've got to see this as the gland of growth, and really get the neck working all the time, always doing nice neck stretches and all of that. So I love doing this chakra too, actually. So let's start our yoga practice. So let's just go through the joints, just 3 in each joint, and lubricate the joints a little bit. Circling 3 times around the right ankle, land the heel every time. Really feel the ankle joint working as you work around the foot, change direction. And the other foot. So here it's really about speaking our truth, because when we speak our truth, change direction, we gain our power. It's not just it's our strength of will and our strength of inner power within us. Take the weight into the left foot, pick up the right foot, circle the ankle 3 times one way and the other. So rather than having power over, having power within. The knee 3 times. When we talk people down, we're sort of trying to boost our own confidence, change direction, because we're lacking that inner power. If we feel so powerful, the hip joints, circle the foot, then we don't need to have power over. We have this deep inner power. Change direction. So a strength so strong it can afford to be vastly gentle. And then change sides. Left foot coming up. And change direction. Circling the knee. And change direction. Let the leg hang, just working the hips, circle the foot, draw a circle with the foot, and change direction. Circling the hips. Cross through the middle, change direction. Figure 8 side to side, that eternity symbol, the same shape fluid takes to clean itself. And change direction. A figure 8 back to front. Drawing that figure 8 on the floor. And come back to center. Bring the arms above the head as you inhale. Exhale, lifting the opposite heel to rib. Hip comes up, rib lifts, heels off the ground. Inhale, back down. Exhale, squeeze to the other side. Hip lifts, heel comes off the ground. Legs straight. And exhale down. Lift the left hip. Heel, right rib. Exhale down. Inhale down. So exhale as you squeeze into the organs. And bring the hands down. Bring the hands up, circling through the wrist, leading out with the thumb, palms to the front. Thumb, pointer, middle, ring, little. And then rolling that energy in. Little palms up, pull the little finger, next thumb. And then rolling through the elbows 3 times. And change direction. And then rolling forward in the shoulders. And rolling back. Bringing the shoulders up under the ears, massage the sides of the neck, jaw relaxed. And say hum, H-A-M, hum for the throat, hum. If you need to work on your thyroid, say that a lot. Inhale, squeeze right up. Exhale, release down. Inhale, up. Circling the chin, jaw relaxed, mouth slightly open. So you're just drawing a circle with the chin in front. and change direction. And just think about the thyroid, the shape like a butterfly in the throat, and in the corners there, the parathyroids. So just think about the glands here, and while you're thinking about them, think about them regenerating and rejuvenating your body, as well as bringing that wish for you through. Allow it to happen. So just lengthen out the crown of the head and take the left ear to the left shoulder, so you're stretching through the side of the neck. And then exhale, take the chin toward the left armpit. And then exhale, bring the chin to the center of the chest, taking the head right down. And inhale, take the right ear to the right shoulder. We'll practice Ujjayi Pranayama as much as we can through this chakra. So just contract the glottis at the back of the throat slightly as you're inhaling and exhaling. So it feels like you're breathing through the throat, as if there's a straw in the throat. And then inhale, take the head right back, but don't drop the head back, just stretch the chin up without compressing the back of the neck. And then exhale, reach the chin forward, reach the head forward and down. Inhale, drawing the chin in slightly, rolling up through the head. The head's going to go back as you tilt toward the back of the head. And then bringing the head to center. Exhale, take the chin forward and down. Nice thoughts and feelings here. Inhale, slight ujjayi, draw the chin in slightly so you're pulling back through the throat, over the back of the head, then bring the head back to center as you come over the top of the head, forward into the center of the head. And again, exhale down, inhale, lifting. And now draw tiny little circles with your chin. Be very soft, move that hormone through the throat and change direction. And just imagine you have a spoon under your neck, under your throat, and you're just going to circle, stirring the pot and change direction. Now just move the jaw around, tight neck, tight jaw. So just really start to move the jaw. Stretch it wide open and then move it side to side. Just move it around. Feel what's happening in the throat. And say, hum, hum, hum. And then say, hum. Inhale, look up to the left. Exhale, look down to the right. Use Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhale, look up to the right. Exhale, down to the left. Inhale, look up to the left. Exhale, look down to the right. Inhale, look up to the right. Exhale, down to the left. So you're doing a figure eight with the neck. One more. Inhale, up to the left. Exhale, down to the right. Inhale, up to the right. Exhale, down to the left. And then changing direction. Inhale, up to the right. Exhale down to the right. Inhale up to the left. Exhale down to the left. Inhaling up to the right. Down to the right, exhale. Up to the left, inhale. Exhale down to the left. And one more round, up to the right. Down to the right. Up to the left. Down to the left. And come back to center. And again, just tiny little circles with the chin now. And change direction. We're just going to go into a little salute to the sun now. So just come into the front of your mat. So just come to the front of the mat. And we're going to exhale, just push back slightly. Inhale, wrist float up. Exhale, push back. Inhale, bringing the arms up to the ears. Push the hips forward, lift the ribs, lift the chest. Take the arch back. And then exhale, come forward and down. Swing the hands past the legs and over the head. Interlace the fingers. Inhale, roll the shoulders back and draw the arms off your back. Drawing the belly back toward the spine. Ujjayi pranayama. So try to keep that throat breath going, that little contraction around the glottis in the throat. And imagine you're breathing in and out of the throat. And then exhale, bring the hands to the floor as you bend the knees. Inhale, step the right leg back to a lunge. Exhale, bring the knee to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, straighten the front leg, pull back, flex the front foot. Inhale, coming forward to Nitambasana again. Take that lunge. Exhale, coming back. And again, inhale, coming forward. Exhale, pull back. Inhale, coming up. Tuck the back toes under, straighten the back leg, exhale. Reach the right hand as far forward as you can as you inhale. Slide the back foot up, come onto the top of the foot, twist to your left and bring that right hip to the floor. Some of you might have to have your hand right out here. Some of you might need to be on your elbow. And we're just going to try and stack these hips. So if you're drifting back, push into the left foot. So you're bringing the hip stacked over the other hip. And then just wrap the left arm around the left leg and then close, so you're closing the left lung a little. Close the left nostril with the left hand. Roll that right shoulder back, lift up through the right arm. We're just going to breathe through the right side of the body. So as you inhale, imagine there's a cobra curled up in your foot and it's rolling all the way up to your throat as it unravels. And as you exhale, feel it going through every part of your body all the way down to the foot. So see this cobra uncurling with your breath, moving all the way through the right side body, the muscles and the organs. This bittersweet Amrit, the left and the right side. Working on all of the polarities of our bodies. bringing them to harmonization, accepting the flow of life, not just focusing on the good stuff, but accepting everything in life as equal and using that as your flow to join everything together as one, not discriminating. The inhale, turn to the front. Tuck the back toes under, straighten the back leg, straighten the front leg as much as you can. Push the hips up to the sky, work the right hip forward and pull the left hip back just a little, trying to square off the hips. Rippling 3 breaths from the base all the way to the brain. Keep Ujjayi Pranayama going, that throat breath. And then as you exhale, bend the front leg, step the right leg up. The inhale, rolling up, keep the knees bent, gather the energy to the throat. Think of cleansing yourself now. Take the energy down to the hara, lift more energy from the base, bring it together. Straighten the legs and say, ha. And imagine your throat is being cleansed. Use that Ujjayi to pull the energy up, so that slight contraction in the glottis as you inhale and exhale. It's like the soft sound of a baby snoring. So now we're just going to roll through the spine for the middle energy rather than down dog and cat stance. So as you exhale, just take the chin down to the chest. We're nourishing and programming now. Take a breath here. On the exhale, move down in between the shoulder blades, roll down through the spine. On the next exhale, roll down through to the lower ribs. On the next exhale, come down to the solar plexus above the navel. On the next exhale, come down to the navel. Slight move. On the next exhale, come down below the navel, 3 to 4 fingers below the navel. And then as in the next exhale, come to the top line of the hips. And then on the next exhale, come down all the way to the tailbone. And now as we inhale to lift, we're going to try to lift from the perineum. So that muscle at the back wall of the vagina, or the skin between the anus and genitals. So inhale, lift from the perineum to the top of the hips, the top of the pelvic floor. Exhale. As you inhale, next come to the lowest mesentery below the navel, holding up those lower organs. On the next inhale, you're going to roll up behind the navel to the second mesentery, holding those organs. On your next inhale, rolling up above the navel to the next mesentery, holding those organs. On the next inhale, rolling up into the lower ribs, the diaphragm. On the next inhale, rolling up to the chest, the muscles around the lungs and the heart. On the next inhale, coming up into the throat, the muscles around the voice box. And then the next inhale, lifting the head to center, the muscles in the center of the head. And say, ah. So we're milking gland from gland, chakra to chakra. Exhale, take the chin to the chest. On the next exhale, roll down between the shoulder blades. On the next exhale, roll down through the lower ribs. On the next exhale, roll down to the solar plexus. And then down behind the navel. And then to below the navel. Top line of the hips. All the way to the tailbone. Bend your knees if you need to. Then we're going to lift from the perineum, Moola Chakra, to the top of the pelvis as you inhale. On the next inhale, rolling up to below the navel, Swadhisthana Chakra. Exhale. Inhale, coming up behind the navel, Manipura Chakra. Exhale. Inhale to the solar plexus, Manipura Chakra. Exhale. Inhale into the lower ribs. Exhale, still Manipura. Inhale, rolling up into the chest, Anahata. Inhale, rolling up into Visuddhi in the throat. Inhale, rolling up to the center of the head, Ajna, and up to Sahasrara at the crown. One more roll through. Exhale, chin down. Exhale between the shoulder blades. Exhale to the lower ribs. Exhale to the solar plexus. Exhale to the navel. Exhale below the navel. Exhale the top line of the hips. Exhale the tailbone. Inhale, lifting from the perineum, the prostate, or that little bowl holding the kunda. As you inhale, roll up to the top line of the hips, the sacrum, Swadhisthana Chakra, the ovaries and the testes, and below the navel on the next level, same chakra. Inhale, rolling up behind the navel, Manipura Chakra, the nerves there that start igniting into the solar plexus, rolling up to the solar plexus, the adrenal glands, Manipura. Inhale, rolling up through the lower ribs, coming up into the chest, Anahata, the thymus gland. Inhale, coming up into the throat, Visuddhi, thyroid and parathyroids. Inhale into the center of the head, the pineal gland. Exhale, reach out the crown of the head, the pituitary gland. Bend the knees, inhale, gather the energy to the throat. We've been nourishing the body, hold the breath in, take the energy down below the navel, pull more energy up to below the navel, holding the top of the front of the chest above the heart. And then exhale, release. Imagine you can feel it moving into the throat. And then working on the left side of the body. So we just nourished and moisturized. Now we're going to tonify through the left. Give everything strength and power. Inhale, let the wrist float up. Exhale, just push back, push the knees forward, push the hips forward, lift the chest, pull through the back of the throat into the center of the head. Inhale, let the wrist float up, bend the knees. Exhale, push the knees forward, the hips forward, lift the chest, pull back through the throat into the back of the head, and release as you straighten the head into the crown. Inhale again, lift. Exhale, push the hips forward, lift the chest, pull back through the throat into the back of the head, and let the head come forward slightly as you come over the crown to the forehead into the center of the head. Inhale one more time, so really making sure that energy is moving upward and not downward. Hips forward, lifting the chest, pulling through the throat into the center of the head. And again. We just secreted from all these glands, so let's move it through the glands a little more. Inhale, lift the wrist. Exhale, step the left leg back, knee to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, pull back, flex the front foot. Inhale, coming forward, lifting the chest. Exhale, pulling back, straighten the front leg. One more time. Inhale, coming up. Tuck the back toes under, straighten the back leg. Exhale, reach the left hand forward. Roll over the top of the foot. Inhale, slide that back leg up as you twist to the right to bring the left hip to the floor. Just adjust yourself any way you need to get there. Make sure that hip's completely on the floor. So again, your hand might be way further away from you. You may have to be on the elbow, just depending on the flexibility in the side body. And then wrap that knee into the chest, closing the right lung, close the right nostril. Lift up through that left shoulder, roll the shoulder back. So that cobra's uncurling as you inhale all the way up to the throat, through all the organs, through all the muscles. Kick that left shoulder back and tilt the head slightly to the right. Push into that right foot to keep the hips stacked. So your beautiful electric blue colour in your throat, like a midday summer sky. Exhale, release the nostril. Inhale, turn to the front. Spin back around, tuck the back toes under, straighten the back leg, straighten the front leg. Work the left hip forward, the right hip back. 3 rippling breaths. Exhaling, bend the front leg, step the back leg up. Inhale, rolling up, keep the knees bent. We're going to gather the energy to the throat. Hold the breath in, let the energy float down to the hara, pull more energy up from the base. Think of tonifying, strengthening, holding into the thymus gland in the chest, holding into the pituitary gland in the center of the head, below the navel, the chest, the center of the head. Relax, release. Imagine you're giving that to Visuddhi Chakra. Take the left leg in front of the right leg. Bring the hands to prayer and come down to sitting. So just bring the left foot. You can sit on a blanket if you like, or a cushion, or a block. And just placing the left foot into the crutch, holding that energy in, and giving strength to that area of the body. So there was this story that goes, there were these people in a cave, and the rocks came down and they closed off the entrance of the cave. They couldn't get out, but there was a drip of water, so they had a little bit of water to drink. There was also a turtle in the cave, and we know that turtles live for 150 odd years. And so they started watching the turtle, and the turtle was doing this with its neck. So they started copying the turtle, and the fable is that they live for 150 years in this cave, survive with just the drip of water and the action of the turtle. So this is what Visuddhi is all about. So it's that growth and the rejuvenation and the regeneration of the body. So the more we work with Visuddhi, the more we're going to regenerate and rejuvenate and heal our bodies as well. So as we exhale, just bring the hands onto the knees. I'll just show you first. So as you exhale, you're going to push the shoulders down and the chin to the chest. And then as you inhale, the shoulders are going to roll up and you're going to take the head up and back. So keep that Ujjayi pranayama. Exhale, push the shoulders down and push the chin to the chest. Inhale, lift the shoulders and tilt the head back. Bring the shoulders right up. Keep going. Bring those shoulders right up when you tilt the head back. Do a couple more rounds. So when you're in the back of the head, that's Bindu chakra, and that's where this Amrit is stored. So you're reaching into Bindu, and then you're bringing the head forward and down, bringing that nectar into the thyroid and the parathyroid. So then it can't bypass that area and just drop into the solar plexus and burn away. And this is the purification center. So this is a very purifying exercise as well as regenerating. having really nice thoughts and feelings now, because this chakra does anything you say. It can only grow or decay depending on what you program it to do. And then once you've taken the head down, just roll the head back to center. So again, draw that chin in, let the head tilt back a little, and then bring the head to center. And just sit and listen to that intuitive voice. Keep that slight ujjayi pranayama, the contraction in the back of the throat. Take your focus to your intention that you've been growing through the chakras. Now take a full breath in, and we'll just do Jalandara Bandha, full breath in, and then press the chin to the chest, holding the breath in. Then before you can't hold the breath anymore, lift the chin, reaching the head out to out to the crown, and then exhale. Make sure you have a nice straight back of the neck. Don't drop the head back. Just bring the head back to center. So once the chin comes to the chest, you lift and hold the breath as long as you can. When you can't hold it anymore, make sure you have enough time to lift it, and just reaching that right up to the center, so that energy moves from Visuddhi into Ajna Chakra in the center of the head. So just as long as you can hold the breath, make sure you're not rolling the shoulders and just working the neck. Full breath in. Pressing the chin to the chest. Increasing the function of the thyroids. Lift the head and then exhale. So on your next one now, when you perform Jalandara Bandha, if you wish, you can perform Moola Bandha, lifting that back wall of the vagina for women, or the skin between the anus and genitals for men. So you'll inhale, press the chin to the chest, lift Moola Bandha, and then when you can't hold the breath anymore, release Moola Bandha, lift the head, and then start to breathe. So full breath in, chin to the chest. Then lift Moola Bandha. So we're bringing more energy up. Release Moola Bandha. Lift the head. Reach out the crown and then breathe. These two chakras react and a lot to sound and vibration. So you're increasing that sound and vibration in you as well, the vibration of our spoken word. One more round. Make sure you're not squeezing the bladder or the ureter tube, but just pulling on the back wall of the vagina when you create Moola Bandha. And again, just breathe. Let the elbows bend a little. And just take the left ear to the left shoulder now. So we're just releasing anything that's not good for us. If you start to get a little bit of headache, it could mean there's a bit of toxic build-up too. So opening the lymph filters and the side of the neck to the lymph glands. Make sure you're not dipping in the ribs, just tilting the neck. It's having that sense of letting go. Inhale, bringing the head to center, and exhale, right ear toward the right shoulder. So the chin feels like it's down slightly. You want to feel the stretch from just behind the ear, just where that muscle is, the sternocleido, that big muscle on the side of your neck. Just come behind there a little bit to down and out the armpit. So feel that stretch toward the armpit. Just let it open and release. And then bringing the head back to center. And just draw the shoulders up, massage the sides of the neck again. So I'll just take you into the practice of Vipareeta Karani now. I'm going to demonstrate it first because it's hard to see and do at the same time. So we're going to lie on our back. So just watching it first, keeping the belly back toward the spine, just rolling down to flat. Just move the pony out the way and make sure it's not putting your neck out. So in this posture, we don't turn our head, we don't swallow, we don't talk. We want to keep the head perfectly still, so we're working with the thyroid glands and keeping them balanced. So we're just going to bend the feet up, slide the feet up, and then take the legs up to the sky. Take a nice deep breath in, and then as we exhale, pushing into the shoulders, the arms and the hands, we're going to take the legs over the head, and then we're going to catch the hips and lift the feet until the toes are in line with the face. And now we're going to imagine there's a red hot dot in the solar plexus. And as we inhale, we're going to lift the weight out of our hands. So taking the hips out of the hands as much as we can. And imagine that red dot's moving up into the throat, turning purple and cooling. And then we bring the weight back into our hands and an ice blue red dot lifts out of our head. And straight away, inhale, lifting another red dot from the solar plexus to the throat. The weight comes out of the hands. Allow that dot to turn purple as it starts to cool, and then it leaves the head an ice blue color and the weight comes back into the hands. And immediately again, the red hot dot leaves the solar plexus to the throat, cools to purple, the weight comes back in the hands and leaves out of the head ice blue. We're going to do that 7 times, and at the end of your 7th round, taking the legs over the head again, we're going to take a hold of the feet, if that's possible for you, taking a hold of the toes, and we're going to very slowly lower our backs to the ground. So really sink your spine into the floor, and we'll slowly bring it back down. It does take a while to get this sort of control, so it's good to practice these sort of exercises regularly. And then the legs are going to be parallel. And then we're going to keep lowering the legs. So we're going to start to lift from the perineum, the back wall of the vagina, or the skin in between the anus and genitals, not the clitoris where the ureter is. And then we're going to hover the legs just an inch off the ground, just for a few seconds, really igniting energy in the base. So as we release, that all moves up to Visuddhi as well. And then we just stay perfectly still for a few seconds, even if your back's a little bit funny. Just give it a minute. So that hormone in the throat, all that beautiful regenerative hormone, can move through the body, and allow that intention to move into your throat and allow that to move out through the body. Okay, so coming into the practice, lying on the floor, knees bent up to the ceiling, feet next to the bottom. Inhale, raise the feet to the ceiling, arms to by the sides, palms facing down. And then as you exhale, push that belly back toward the spine. Push into the hands, the shoulders, and push the back off the floor, bringing the legs over the head. Bring the elbows in as much as you can. Catch your hips with your hands. So you're resting at the top of the hips, and then raise your legs until they're in line. Your feet are in line with your face. Let the belly fall back toward the spine. And imagine now that red hot dot in the solar plexus. Inhale, push the hips out of the hands, letting that red dot move to the throat, turning purple, letting it cool, and then weight comes back into the hands, and ice blue dot leaves out the crown of the head. Then straight away lift again, another red dot from the solar plexus, moving up into the thyroids, turning purple as it cools, and then drop the weight to the hands and ice blue
Energy releases out the crown of the head. Inhale, another red dot lifts from the solar plexus to the throat, cooling, turning purple, and then releasing ice blue at the crown of the head as the weight comes back to the hands. And then another dot. Inhale, pulling it up to the throat, allowing it to cool. An ice blue dot releases out the crown of the head. The weight comes into the hands. 4 more. Use Ujjayi pranayama, that contraction in the throat. And then taking the legs over the head. See if you can bring the arms over the head and catch the toes. And then holding onto the toes, slowly lower yourself to the floor. Otherwise, just bring your hands back down by the sides of the body onto the floor and try to control your landing. And then letting go of the toes, hands by the sides of the body, slowly lowering the legs. Keep the shoulders in the floor, lower ribs in the floor. A lift from the perineum, hovering the legs an inch off the floor just for a few seconds, and then release. Just turn the palms up to the sky. Just relax. Let that thyroxine move through the body. Let your intention move with it. Nice. Regenerating, restoring the body, and then bringing the knees up into the chest, hugging the knees and just rocking side to side. Just allow the back to release a little. Back and forth. And then we'll come into the counter pose, fish pose, where we're going to open the thyroid and the pancreas now. So just bring the feet to the floor next to the bottom, peel your bottom off the floor. Keep nice straight arms and bring the palms of the floor onto the floor, and rest your bottom on the tops of your hands. So the hands are right underneath your bottom, the arms are straight, palms facing down. Take the legs out straight. Now spin the inside of the armpits up towards the ceiling, so you're on your elbows more. And then bend the elbows, lifting your chest and your head off the floor. And then as you exhale, just roll the shoulders back and gently place the top of your head to the floor. There's no pressure on the head and the neck. You're pushing the weight into the forearms and pressing the bottom into the hands. And again, practicing Ujjayi pranayama, contracting the glottis at the back of the throat, as if you're inhaling and exhaling through the throat. Try and hold this pose for a little while. You should hold a counter pose for half the time that you held the other pose. Make sure you're rolling the shoulders back. Push the chest and the ribs up. Feel the throat opening and imagine you're expressing yourself, expressing your feelings, your attitude. Keep pushing your bottom into your hands. Don't let the weight drift onto the head and the neck. Keep the shoulders back. 3 more breaths. Push into the forearms. And then inhale, lifting the head. And then exhale, just lower yourself to the floor. Bring the hands out from underneath. Let the toes fan out. Turn the palms up toward the sky. And the attributes here is hearing. And it's listening to that little telepathic voice as well. So we're going to come into relaxation now. You can remain lying, or you can bring yourself up to sitting. Probably recommend lying today, even though with the chakras, it's better to sit up and meditate. But for the throat, you might just want to relax now and allow the neck to relax. And just find that stillness so the hormones and energies can move through your body. Having the eyes just closed, the lips just touching, teeth slightly apart, and relaxing the tongue behind the top teeth. Bring a slight smile to the face, opening into the corners of the eyes, nose, and mouth. And just bringing the awareness to Visuddhi Chakra and seeing in the throat area there a 16-petaled electric blue lotus. And see this as your center of purification, of expression. Expressing clearly and kindly, and remembering that harsh words don't purify our bodies. Kind words do purify our bodies. Our thoughts and our feelings are so important here. What we feel will happen. What we think about creates a feeling. And what we feel, we're putting that pheromonal energy out from us. Other people will sense that smell of pheromone and bring that to you. So bring the intention into the throat and allow that to happen for you, attracting the right energy towards you that will assist you in this growth. This is the chakra of expression. So expressing our true feelings, expressing how we feel kindly and calmly.
The more we can express our purest and truest emotions, the more power we're giving to ourselves. When we can express, we're releasing energy. Energy that we may not want to be holding on to anymore, or expressing to create even more beauty within our lives, more potential. Imagine now you can feel the nectar dropping down from the back of the head into the throat. And anything toxin in that nectar will release now down and out the armpits. And this beautiful nectar is going to feed your body now, rejuvenating your body. Let that nectar move through the body, into the brain, into the mind as well. And let that nectar express itself through you. And just remembering that importance of posture, of lengthening the back of the neck and reaching out the crown of the head, so you are connecting to Visuddhi Chakra and the thyroid and parathyroid glands, not skipping them. The lower parathyroids tend to switch things on in the lower part, and the upper part of the parathyroids tend to switch things off. So that importance of having that long back of the neck and working that Visuddhi Chakra, not dropping the chin forward or dropping the head back, just drawing that chin in slightly and reaching out the crown of the head. So that beautiful nectar falls from Bindu at the back of the head into Visuddhi Chakra. Feel your body absolutely nourished and beautified, cleansed and purified. Bring that intention again into Visuddhi Chakra. And let Visuddhi spread that energy through your whole body, telling which organs to shut down and which organs to excrete more, to create that perfect chemistry within you, to allow that intention to unfold. Feel this energy moving up into the glands in your throat, in your lower jawline, from your throat into the submandibular glands, and trusting your appetite as they excrete the hormone into the mouth, making you crave the food you need to create the chemistry for your body, for your intention. And feel some of it coming up through the throat and moving out to under the ears, about 4 fingers under the ears, and the filters taking out what's not going to be helpful for you to create that intention to the armpit. And the filters under the ears also sending some information back in the veins down the front and the back of the body to help with this intention. And coming back to the throat, feel it moving up the inside muscles of the throat, out to under the ears, and moving up into the base of the skull behind the ears. And that energy moving up over the back of the head, the top of the head, into the center of the forehead, moving into the center of the head, right in the center, and releasing that information out into the pituitary gland, And the pituitary gland sends that information out into the brain, expressing your intention. And then the brain sends messages down through your spinal cord now, and sends messages through the nerves, the veins, and the lymph in between every vertebra out into all the organs and glands, and tells them what to do to allow this intention to create this rejuvenation, to become. See the thyroids and the parathyroids in perfect health. Say to yourself, my thyroid gland is perfectly healthy, functioning at its optimum. My parathyroid glands are functioning perfectly at their optimum. My thyroid and my parathyroid glands are in perfect health. And just feel the earth upon which you're lying. Tia, nurturing you, Tiama, Earth Mother, holding you in her hands. And feel that life force coming down from Sky Father, that universal energy moving into every pore of your skin, in you and around you, being enveloped by that great Father. And that energy moving through everything, keeping us connected and as one universal form. Now feeling into your body, you, the soul, in between this great body and the great spirit. Sitting here in the soul of your soul of Visuddhi. And just bring the awareness to your physical body and begin to wake it up. Imagine every cell in your body is awakening, enlivening as it's been rejuvenated and reprogrammed to your intention. And your breath and your heart rate are moving in time with the emotion of this beautiful intention. And your sight moves into this direction of your intention. Take a full breath in, belly, solar plexus, rib cage, chest. And breathe out to say, Begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Gently blink the eyes. Then squeeze the fingers, the toes, the eyes tight shut. Stretch your arms above your head. Take a big yawn. Rubbing the hands upward through the throat, say rubbing the hands below the navel. Roll onto your right side and gently rock yourself awake. And slowly bringing yourself up to sitting. And just seeing that 16-petaled electric blue lotus in the throat. And we're just going to use the sound hum 3 times. Taking a full breath into the throat. And again, those two opposing energies, bringing the right hand of intellect toward the heart, the left hand of intuition toward the heart, the conscious, the subconscious, the masculine, the feminine, the bitter, the sweet, bringing the two together, the toxic, the regenerative, the difficult and the easy, and seeing that coming together as one in harmony and not discriminating. Namaste. And then clicking around you, sealing off your aura. And have a nice day.